Hello, good morning, you guys, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so make sure you guys please like, share, subscribe, comment, and all of those great things. Okay, I want to talk about a few things. Okay. I wanted to talk about an Uber driver poisoned a customer's food. Now, we're living in a time where we're busy all the time. We get home, we don't want to get back out, we don't want to cook. Everything is made accessible, especially after COVID, right? And hey, I have to say, like, even when when I'm tired, I stopped ordering from Uber though, because they had gotten bad about stealing your food and then saying that they brought the food and then Uber didn't want to give you your money back. Okay. Um, because they would say, well, the driver said they dropped the food off, you know what I mean? Just stealing. So I stopped dealing with Uber, period. Um, but this is one of the things that, hey, um, this is one of the things that I was always afraid about. If they don't have like the bags sealed, okay, because the stores are supposed to have bags that are sealed. I don't want the food. Like if they just tie the bags up where the drivers can um open the bags up and do whatever they want to do. I don't like, they're too cheap to invest in sealed bags where you have to break the bag apart. I don't bother with ordering from those companies, right? Or I didn't. But it says right here that a DoorDash, okay, not Uber, but DoorDash. I'm talking about Uber, okay? That happened with Uber, but it's saying here a DoorDash driver poisons customers' food with pepper spray, okay? Let's read this. It says, an Indiana DoorDash driver is accused of poisoning a customer's food order with pepper spray. The driver has been banned from the app after doorbell camera footage shows her spraying a food order with pepper spray. Mark Carden, an Indiana of Indiana, said his wife became ill after eating the food after midnight on Sunday. Carden checked the doorbell camera footage and saw the blue-haired driver spraying a substance on the food before strolling away. Carden told 14 News that his wife Mandy started choking and vomiting after eating the food. I noticed my wife had started eating and she started cooking and gasping. And after she had a couple of bites of her food, she actually threw up. I had to look at the bag and seen I had a look at the bag and seen that there was some kind of spray or something. Carden said the bag had been tampered with, so I pulled up my doorbell camera and seen that the lady had dropped the food off and actually tampered with it on purpose for some reason. Carden shared the photos and video of the driver on Facebook. He asked his Facebook friends to help in identifying the driver. DoorDash did not identify the driver, and she has not been arrested. Tampering with food is a felony that can be punishable up to 10 years in prison. Okay, so here it is.
My wife had started eating and she started choking and gasping. And after she had had a couple bites of her food, she actually threw up. It's pepper spray. It's more than likely what it is. But now in this day and age, it could have been anything. Could have been rat poison. Could have been fentanyl. I mean, my wife could have been dead. Definitely want to see her prosecuted.
That right there is weird within itself. And I have to say this because it's obvious. Stop, Remy. It's obvious you see the doorbell camera, and how did he know that it was pepper spray? You know what I mean? Like I know people do stuff all the time, to try and get money. He said pepper spray right off. He said, but it could have been fentanyl, this, and that. But he kind of hit it right on the head. Not unless, they said it. The hospital said it or something like that. Hey, people do freaky stuff all the time. Okay, it's a darn shame. That's the only thing about ordering from these drivers. Like I have issues like with ordering pizza. I like to go pick up my pizza because you never know, like with the drivers. Okay. And remember the incident that happened with Domino's many years ago. If you're my age, you remember what the man did to the pizza that worked at the Domino's. Okay. And Domino's had a stigma. I didn't eat Domino's until I was way over starting like real grown. Okay. And that's because my kids liked it. But hey, it's crazy out here. So hey, sometimes you just have to go ahead and stop and get your food, or get on back up if you got a car, and go and pick your food up, or just cook at home. That's the safe thing. If you cook at home, you don't have to worry about all of these weirdos. And then these Uber drivers and DoorDash drivers, some of them, like, you never know who they are. Some people do it and they make really good money. They're good people, and they're hardworking people. And then there are some people, they get to looking at your house and stuff, and they decide, well, I think I want to come back uninvited. Okay, so those are the types of things that you have to worry about sometimes. But I'm glad that the woman, I'm sure they're gonna file a lawsuit. But why would she spray pepper spray on the food right in front of the camera? And it's really weird. Okay, why would she do that? So I'm sure they're gonna get a real big lawsuit. Okay, some people are just crazy. She could have been stoned out of her mind, but she could have. Why didn't she spray the pepper spray on it, like in the car or something, before she even brought the food? Unless, like I said, it's just a sickness. Maybe she was stoned out of her mind. She didn't see the camera and all of that. But it's definitely crazy, right? Also, I wanted to talk about, let's see, I got a couple other things that I want to talk about. Um, Also, okay, that I saw. Hold on one second, you all. Give me 1 second. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that a lot. Um, I hate when the computer starts to act up, and that's what it's doing. Or this website. Okay. Okay, hold on for a second, y'all. While we're doing this, make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate that so very much. Um, oh, I wanted to talk about people are just getting crazier and crazier. Um, I read the story of a California mom was desperate for $2,000 to send to her 14-year-old daughter to a cheering camp, and she fatally took out a retired registered nurse and stole her purse. Yeah, this is how crazy. Like, people are off of their rockers. I tell my kids and stuff all the time, when people get talking crazy, let them have it. Y'all think I'm look, I've worked around this stuff. I've seen how down through the years from working for the police department, I don't know what it is that's going on. People are getting crazier and crazier and crazier. So when somebody is fixated on me and they don't know how to move on, and they, especially if they don't know you, oh, she's sleeping with this person, oh, she is lying, don't know you, and become fixed in on it, and going as far as to contacting people that they think are dealing with you, okay, to lie on you. Like, it's a sick fixation. You have to get the police involved, because you would say, well, I'm just going to ignore it, and it's nothing normal about it. These people are crazy, right? So that's why I go to the extreme with certain things that I know is not normal. Okay. It says a mom who needed $2,000 to send her daughter to cheer camp is convicted of fatally stabbing a retired nurse. It says a California mom who desperately needed $2,000 to send her 14-year-old daughter in to cheering camp in Florida was convicted of fatally stabbing a retired registered nurse to steal her purse. On Thursday, December 4th, Torrance Superior Court convicted Sherry Lynn Townsend, 47, of first-degree unaliving for the 2018 stabbing death of Susan Lees in a mall parking garage in Rolling Hills State, California. Townsend desperately needed $2,000 to send her daughter to cheer camp. Prosecutors said she considered launching a GoFundMe page to raise the funds, but she didn't want to embarrass her daughter. Townsend sat in her car for 2 hours in a parking garage at the promenade on the uh, Peninsula Mall, if I said that right. Uh, I don't know if I said that right. On May 3rd, 2018, prosecutors say she was waiting for an easy target. Around 12:15 p.m., Lee 66 returned to her white 2016 Mercedes Benz after shopping at the Gap. Townsend exited the gold Chevrolet sedan, walked around another car, and approached Lee's from behind. As Lees got into her driver's seat of her SUV, Townsend stabbed her 17 times in the chest and neck. The brutal attack went unnoticed by other shoppers and cars passing by. Townsend grabbed Lee's black purse, got back into her car, and drove out of the parking lot, cutting off an SUV she exited. Okay? So she was crazy because she had to have known the mall was going to, um, they got her tag number and everything. Okay? Um, it's crazy. She ran a red light and made a turn driving westbound on Indian Peak Road before turning northbound onto Hawthorne Boulevard. Lee's cell phone, which was in her purse, pinged off of towers going in the same direction. Sheriff's deputies arrived at the parking garage around 12:26 p.m. They found Lee's in her SUV covered in blood. Her throat had been slashed and she struggled to breathe. She died a few minutes later. While searching for evidence, the detectives found a cell phone underneath Lee's SUV. License plate reader showed Townsend's car returned to the mall, but she didn't go into the parking garage. Prosecutors would later say Townsend returned to see the scene after realizing she dropped her cell phone. Townsend went to a Verizon store in Carson to turn off the cell phone. She was arrested 2 weeks later and her car was seized as evidence. During the police interrogation, she said she didn't know how her cell phone got under her car. She was released from jail 6 days later because prosecutors didn't have enough evidence to charge her. Townsend filed a federal lawsuit against for false imprisonment. These folks know they be guilty and then be talking about filing lawsuits when the state don't have enough. Okay, evidence when she should have just left it alone because she knew she was guilty. Defamation, negligence, and civil rights violation. I was arrested for a murder I didn't commit, she said. She told NBC4 News in an exclusive interview that aired September 2018. It's important for my story to get out because I was wrongly accused. Here she is right here.
I was arrested for murder I didn't commit. It's important for my story to get out because I was wrongly accused. My livelihood's affected. My children's lives are affected. And I'm not sure that things will ever be the same.
It says, at a press conference a year later, Townsend demanded a public apology from the LA Sheriff's Office. She says, I want justice. I want an apology. I want my name restored publicly, she said. Here she is right here at the conference.
Something that I didn't do. I'm angry. I'm disgusted about how the county is able to get away with what they're doing to me. I believe there's a huge social injustice going on right now. And I'm not going to let them get away with it. I'm not going to let them get away with ruining my life.
I want justice. I want an apology. And I want my name restored publicly. It's not going to change what happened to me. It's not going to change what I've been through. It's not going to change what I have to go through. It's not going to change what my children have to endure. But it's a start.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is what you call crazy on a whole nother level. This lady is well spoken, and she went out there and for some money to send to her daughter. She takes this old lady's life, older lady. She was still fairly young, 66, and she could sit there. That's a sociopathic serial K. That's what's scary because it's a lot of type running walking around here. That's the reason why I tell people take things seriously when people are fixated on you, when people zone in on you and they don't know you. Uh, because you could look at somebody podcast and say I don't like them or I don't like their personality. You don't know them not to like them. So I don't go over there and I don't have anything else to say about them. But when you're fixated on them, it's something wrong. That's a person with a lot of crazy potential, and you have to be vigilant. These are the types of people that's walking around here. This lady is well spoken. She played it. She took this lady's life and then thought she was gonna get some money off of it. Okay. It says in 2023, the Sheriff's Department Fugitive Unit rearrested Townsend and charged her with first-degree unaliving. Her lawsuit was dismissed shortly after. Detectives found trace evidence of Townsend's DNA on the cell phone that was dropped on the scene. Blood evidence found and in and around the SUV belonged to the victim. Detectives never recovered the murder weapon. At trial, prosecutors presented cell phone records that showed Townsend made internet searches for topics including computer hacking, duplicate credit cards, money laundering, fake ID generators, and how to steal money from an ATM or coin operated washing machine. She asked her son's coach how to obtain fake ID and whether Walmart asked for ID to make a credit card purchase. A witness, Kelly Harper, identified Townsend as a woman she saw near a gold four-door sedan in the parking lot shortly after 11:30 a.m. that day. Hopper testified that Townsend stared at her. I got this feeling she was going to hurt me. Something bad was going to happen. Detectives noted inconsistencies in Townsend's interrogation in 2018 and 2023. In 2018, she said she went to the mall to shop for her daughter, but she didn't enter the mall because she had car trouble. In 2023, Townsend explained she went to the mall to shop for her son's prom. When asked if she had car trouble, she said no. At the murder trial, Townsend's daughter cheer team manager testified that Townsend started bouncing checks and she put her on a cash or cashier's check basis only. Another mother testified the cheer program could cost as much as $25,000. In a note found on her cell phone days before the murder, Townsend wrote, "In this moment, I am completely broken because she didn't have $2,000 for her daughter to compete in the biggest event of her life." Hours after the unaliving, Townsend messaged another cheer mom on Facebook that something huge happened today. I cannot get into it right now, but I could not get on that plane tonight. Townsend's defense attorney, Elizabeth, argued for acquittal. She said, "Miss Townsend did not do this. I don't know who did this to this lady. It was certainly not Sherry Townsend." Regarding Townsend's cell phone found at the scene, her attorney told the courts, "I don't know how it wound up there." Townsend faces 26 years to life at her sentencing hearing on January 23rd, 2026. Y'all, I'm telling you, people are off of their rockers. Okay, it's so many other ways to get money, and for people to think that they can just go. And I don't like people that make excuses. Well, you know it's bad out here. Folk want to eat. Well, then they need to go work at the McDonald's. How you gonna be starving and you think you too good to go work at a fast food restaurant? You think that the only option is to take somebody's life, and you think you're gonna get away with it? This lady is such a sociopath. It makes me believe that if she did this, she'd do it to somebody else. Stabbing? A stabbing. That's crazy, out of this world. Most people are cowards. They get a gun and hey, they do it as quick. But this lady is crazy. This lady is crazy on a whole nother level. Okay. So listen, hey, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. Like I said, I tell my kids, like I tell my kids, when people get to being doing talking crap, let them have it. Road rage, don't argue with nobody, just let them go on. These folks running around here off of their meds. Okay, they're crazy on a whole nother level. I don't know if it's in the air, in the water, but I've never seen mental illness like I've seen before. People just don't have any discipline. I want what I want, and you got it, and I'm gonna kill you and get it. Okay. I'm glad she off of the street. I am. I am so glad that she is off of the street. I was looking at another story. I know I'm doing too much, but I really wanted to talk about this. I might talk about this in um another story. Yeah, I'll do another video and talk about this. Folks are taking out their parents now, y'all. What in the world is going on? What in the world is going on? But anyways, you guys, I wanted to just talk about that. I'm gonna be uploading some more videos. I'm back uploading my videos. It had been a month, and there's so many stories out there. I'm so glad, that I get to talk about this with you all, because it has to be talked about. Okay. But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.